somewhere in Owings Mills Mall, or what's left of it. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to start down at this wing, because this was closed off for a long time. This is where Power Gamer used to be. Wow. I think this was a shoe store. Athletic shoes. So this down here was Macy's, and then Macy's moved when Hex was bought out by Macy's, so Macy's moved to the other side of the mall and became just Macy's at the other side of the mall, and this was Boscov's. So the mall interior closed in September, so you can see they've done just a stellar job at preventing kids from getting in here. All the plants are dead. Everything is filthy. It's a dead, filthy, abandoned mall. I honestly do not remember what this was. Some sort of clothing store. But what's in here now is a bunch of boxes and bottles of liquor. So, given the broken glass, it seems to me that some local kids had some sort of shindig in here, but who really knows? This was at one point a Claire's. Across the hall was at one point a Limited 2, where I got my ears pierced for the first time, where I purchased many Neopets pieces of merchandise when that was a thing. Yeah, you can see all the Limited 2 signage still back there. This was one of the last stores open here. This was a Bath and Body Works. You can kind of see faded out there. So at first I couldn't tell what this was, and there's a dead bird. That's great. But the only remnant of what this store was were the manhole covers that say Aeropostale on them. There is a lot of broken glass. Just buckets, literally buckets of broken glass from up there. All that is kicked in, say for maybe, 30% of the total panels up there. It's all been broken. This was, at one point, a Disney store. It went out long before the mall itself ever closed up. There is a very strong mildew smell in here. I don't know what this was before it closed up for good. There's really no remnant of any Disney thing in here. The only way you could tell it was a Disney store was by the facade out front, which is pretty typical of all Disney stores to have that rounded facade out there. So many places to spend it. So many places to spend it. This was Suncoast. And there's really nothing left. They really cleared out. Besides the checkout, that's about it. Ceiling's starting to fall in. Thankfully, there is a grate up there that's actually preventing most of anything from falling down. Penny was the last store, I think, to close. It took them so long to finally shut this place down because Penny and Macy's both owned the buildings that are on the property here. And so it took them forever to basically buy those buildings back from those companies. But my parents would always drop me off in front of Penny's because right around the corner from Penny's was my spot, the Wizards of the Coast store. Right here. It was awesome. It was great. Many years ago, this was Wizards. I don't know what it got turned into most recently. I assume some sort of child care area, given what's currently in here. But Wizards closed, I don't know, I guess I was in high school. And then it got turned into some furniture store. Then it got turned into this. This is what used to be Deb. I remember in 9th grade, I bought a pair of shoes here for $1. I was very proud of myself. Oh yeah, there it is, Deb. It's another store that just kind of has that old mildew smell, probably because of water damage on the carpet. This here for a long time was a Walkenfuss Candies. And this, when the mall first opened, was where Lord & Taylor was. And later I believe it was a Sticks and Stuff. This is where the GameStop was. It was an electronics boutique and then an EB Games and then a GameStop. And it doesn't look like it was ever turned into anything else. All of the fairly standard GameStop counter setup is right here. Victoria's Secret. Again, one of the last stores to have a presence here. So, generally, slightly better looking inside than a lot of the other stores. This was a Walden Books, and then it was a Borders, and then it closed. And this was a Sam Goody. I guess it probably turned into something else at some point. I just do not recall what. It goes pretty far back. This was a CVS, which was, I guess, weird to have inside a mall. I don't really recall having drugstores inside of many other malls in the area, but that's where it was, CVS. So this was Macy's. Originally, it was Hex, and then, as I mentioned, Hex was bought out by Macy's. I don't really remember what anything in this area was. I think, yeah, okay, there it is. This was a salon chair and back. Not that I ever got my hair cut here, but hey, Baltimore County Chamber of Commerce member. That's something. They're accredited. Some of these places have just been neglected for so long. Just totally falling apart here. Find it all here. Sales, events, stores, so much more. OwingsMillsMall.com. What brings you today? Well, Owings Mills Mall, I'm here to explore my long ago childhood and the fact that you're about to tear it down because of stuff like this. Yeah, it smells really awful over here. Really awful. So this was, according to the doors, IFL furniture. I do not recall ever hearing that. I remember Lord and Taylor, and I remember Sticks and Stuff, and that's it. Look at this, man. Yikes. Carpet's all coming up too. Probably because of water. It smells like mold in here. That's not supposed to bend like that. There's a lot of filthy water-damaged floors. There is a lot less broken glass down this end. This on the corner, at one point, was an FYE. And it went out and it got turned into something else because I don't believe FYE would have been selling lip gloss. But, yeah, not much left in this one. Just a lot of boxes. So this is where the noise is coming from. Somewhere in this area. I believe that's an alarm going off, technically. But I don't know. That's just what it sounds like. This area over here at one point was a place called Imaginarium. It's basically like a toy store. But I'd go when I was a kid. And then this was where Gymboree was. One of the last 2 or 3 remaining stores to have been in this mall before they shuttered the inside. These are just buckets of filthy water. Probably left here from when they cared about stuff getting in from the roof. But clearly, that was a long time ago. And this was, if you can't tell by the shitty fake brick, this was a Hot Topic. And there is really nothing left for them to even get rid of. More broken glass. Lots of broken glass. This was Claire's. This was their second location. If memory serves me right, they used to be downstairs. Then they came up here. And then what was Claire's downstairs came up, or what was Claire's got turned into an icing, which is just, it's the same store. So, whatever, right? Not much value in here, though. So nothing's quite like a sign of the times than going into an old phone store that's been closed for probably the better part of a decade. Motorola. I guess they still make phones. Nokia. Sprint's still around. Nextel. Nah. They're gone. Nokia connecting people. Well.
Somebody broke that. Why would they? Don't walk over there. Kids do this?
Yeah.
So disrespectful.
Yeah, so here's where the blacklight mini golf was. I did this once. The guy I was dating at the time in high school. It was fun. I mean, for what it was, which was indoor mini golf in a mall. But when it was all lit up, it looked pretty cool. But yeah, we figured out that all of this glass managed to be broken in because whoever broke into the mall had access to golf clubs and broke a ton of glass. Yeah, not a single paint left in this whole row. And I imagine this was also done by whoever broke in. A lot of damage to the old Mrs. Fields here, too. This is where my roommate, when he was working at Power Gamer, would get those disgusting cookie sandwiches with the glob of icing in the middle. Just all of it, just totally shattered. I have no idea what this is. Oh, it's a Christmas decoration of some sort. All right. I don't know where this would have gone, but it's clearly been sitting here for a long time. So this is an area that I believe, if memory serves me correctly, and it might not, but I believe it was added on sometime in the late 90s, because I remember being here as a tiny child and the mall kind of ending right around where Mrs. Fields and the Cinnabon were. And then they added on stuff. And I remember specifically going down here. I can't get to it because they've walled everything off. But going down here was an art supply store. Conservatory food court merchants. No one's there. Conservatory food court is waiting right around the corner. Oh, we'll hit that last. God, I don't even remember what this was. Not a damn clue. This was a Brookstone. I do remember that. This was the food court. Over here was a McDonald's. There also was on this side that I can remember Chick-fil-A, I think, Sarku, Japan, and a great cookie, and a couple of other places. And on the other side was a TCBY, a sub place, Boardwalk Fries, and everything is dead. Everything is dead. Look at this. Dead trees, dead plants, just crunchy, dead. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Still one sign on. Luigi's Pizzeria. I don't know when that turned into Luigi's, but it was a boardwalk for a long time. Over here, that I can remember, this was a Chinese buffet. Then it shut down, turned into something else. And the other restaurant in the mall was Ruby Tuesday. I can only assume they have the power on here for whoever's set up over here. Love that neon.